Cottage and welcome back to Wales. Hope you're all doing well today and that you've had a lovely weekend. And we've had a few people around over the weekend and they've been coming to see the garden and everyone's really enjoying what they're seeing, so that's a really good sign for me that I'm doing the right thing. I'm sat up at the top of the garden down by the wisteria on the barn. Hope you can see it behind me. And I thought we'd just have a different aspect at the beginning of the video today. So I've been a busy bee. I've been out collecting some doors this morning. They were free on Facebook Marketplace. I want to do a secret garden kind of thing on the entrances to the garden from the outside, from the paths at the back. So one of them's oak and it's far too nice to use as a gate, so I'm going to use that as a new workbench when I renovate the barn at the back where I'm sat now. So yeah, I'm very pleased with them. I've got 4 altogether, so one of them's going to go as a gate over by the bee place, and the other one's going to go as a gate at the side of the house. So that's really good, really pleased with them. Today I'm going to be back at the Polytunnel because since I recorded my last video when I was doing the foundation posts, I've finished the foundation post and got the hoops up. So today I'm going to brace all the hoops and put them together. And I've got to secure one of the corner posts because it's loose and I don't think I put the bolts on properly, so I've got to dig that back out and put the braces back on properly to keep the base plates on. But other than that, I'm up to the framework now and getting that up, and then I'm going to dig the trench out and my husband's going to give me a hand one evening this week to put the plastic on, so that'll be helpful, that'll be handy. I've got the door frames to build and I've got the doors to build, so that's going to be a job and a half. I've never built them before, so yeah, I've got to make sure they're square and that they're going to fit. And on one end of the polytunnel I won't be able to have a full door, I'll have to have 2 half-size doors because the space between the hill and the path going into the veg garden and the polytunnel is too short, which I didn't work out when I positioned the polytunnel. And I'm not going to start all over again just to have a door, so I'm just going to have to cut the door in half and have two smaller doors instead at one end. So yeah, I'm sat up in the rose walk and things are really starting to come out. So once the roses start flowering, I'm going to do a rose garden tour and show you all the roses that are coming into flower, because I've got quite a few now. I've got Toss Her In by Gently, I've got Rambling Rector, I've got Gertrude Jekyll, I've got Abundance, one of my old English roses off Yew Gardens flowering, and Buttercup, and Lark Ascending is just about to start flowering as well. So once they do flower I will do a video for you and show you around my roses and show you how they're all doing. So stupidly the other day I was weeding up the garden, and I've had a cherry tree and I've had it for about 10 years and it's been in a pot for years and it's been stuck in the soil. It hasn't been dug in properly for ages. It's been there for a couple of years, and I knocked the only branch on it that was growing, didn't I, and snapped it. So I've tried my best to patch it up and to see if it'll come back, but I think I may have killed it. Can't believe it. It had a blossom on it this year as well, so it's going to have a couple of cherries, and I think it was just starting to get itself settled, and I snapped the only branch off which had leaves and blossom on it. And yeah, I'm hoping that I've managed to fix it up and put a bandage on it, but we'll have to see. So yeah, can you see the rhododendrons and the wisteria behind me as well? It's all looking really pretty. Anyway, excuse the hat, but the sun today is absolutely roasting. It is about 11 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, it's really hot. So I'm having to wear my hair like this a lot at the moment and wear my hat to keep the sun off, because I don't want to get a sun-scorched head. But yeah, can you hear the noise of the wind in the background? It sounds like water, it sounds like the sea blowing through the trees. It sounds really nice, it's really restful, and I'm not coming out in the garden, I don't want to do anything, so it's just far too nice. But yeah, so we'll go down to the polytunnel space. I'll show you what I'm up to so far, where I'm up to. The veg garden sadly hasn't been planted yet, but I have prepared the soil, and when the sun disappears behind the trees this afternoon I'll go down and plant the onions and my spinach. So yeah, we'll have to see. I've got some courgettes to go in as well, and they're jumping out the pots ready to go in. So I'll take you down to the polytunnel bit and I'll give you a glimpse of Gertrude on the way past, and we'll go and see how things are progressing. So I'll see you in a minute. A bee swarm turned up yesterday, and they keep the hives in this part of the workshop, and I don't know whether you can see, but there's a very active beehive in there. It's the top one, and they turned up yesterday, and the noise in the garden was like bzzz all over the place, and I was weeding, so I decided to keep away. But can you see them going in and out of the hive? There must be 3 or 4 hives in there that they're using, but yeah, it's very active. So I keep my distance, but they're going in and out up there. But that's why my garden has so many bees, because they keep the hives in here, and I get the benefits of the bees pollinating all my flowers and my fruit. So just thought I'd show you. You've seen the wisteria? Wisteria is beautiful. Smells delicious. It's a shame you can't have smell-o-vision, but it does smell delicious. Right, we're going back down to the polytunnel. Just on the way past, I'm getting distracted again. I haven't even got to the polytunnel yet. I found the other day that clematis that I was trying to find on the rose walk when we were doing the garden tour in the last video. I found the clematis, and it's a blue one, and it seems to have survived, so I'm just starting to train it up the fence, so that's really good. I can hear the bees. I may have to run because they're moving the hives in the room where I've just shown you that bee swarm, and I can hear them. So just a minute. Yes, they are. They're up there and they're swarming. Fabulous. Thank you. I don't know whether you can see, but just where we've been standing, that's where they're swarming at the moment. So I'm so glad I've just moved. I'm going to have to run, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to go. Right, that is just where we were. I'm in the house now. I've had to come in. But I had to run. Can you see all the bees? That is just where we've just been standing. That's that bit of plastic I just showed you. I don't know what they're doing, but there's thousands and thousands of bees. Sorry, I'm puffed. But that's where we were just standing now. And I was showing you the roses. That's where I've just been sitting. I was just literally sitting there. I say they turned up yesterday, the bees. I think they must have brought the hive back. But they're not happy bees. And there's more and more of them. I hope the chickens are going to be alright. Anyway, when the bees have gone, we'll go back down and we'll have a look at the polytunnel. Look at that. Turned into an interesting video for you. They're right up the tree. They're flying all over the garden. I'll open the window and let you hear them. The perils of the countryside. Right, I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, they seem to have settled down a bit now. Excuse the noise from the factory in the back. I think he's making some new hives. But they don't seem to have moved the hives from the window, so they must have just got disturbed and got very annoyed at being disturbed. But can you see how many was in there now? Seems to have settled down a bit now, calmed down. But I think he has a big smoker in there, and I think that's how he manages to still work when there's a swarm in the place. So yeah, so I think we're safe to go and have a look at the polytunnel, and we'll leave the bees doing what bees do. Do you want to see how big the thickness is of those bees? For you, Orion. There you go, can you see them? That is a lot of bees, a lot. I don't think I've ever seen a swarm that big before. Come here anyway. So I'm just going to go and have a word with them and check that they're going to be safe for me to work in the garden. And then we're going to go and do the polytunnel. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, well that was fun. Apparently they didn't know they were there, so they're going to come and get them and take them away. So that's a relief. I don't fancy them swarming again, because the gentleman that works there went in before and he didn't even know they were there, so he must have disturbed them about 20 minutes ago. So that was close, wasn't it? Anyway, do you want to see Gertrude Jekyll? There you go, look at that, isn't she beautiful? You know, if you smell a vision, you'd really love these roses. She smells delightful. Let's have a smell. I'll smell it for you. She's got a most wonderful sweet scent to her. She's beautiful. But she's coming on nicely. She's got lots of roses. Lots of roses coming out. Just keeping an eye on those bees. So yeah, plenty of buds. I love it when they first open. Have you seen this one just opening now? It's gorgeous. And then they've opened really right out like this into a big rose out like that. So it's lovely. Anyway, I'm not going to show you any more because I'm going to do that in another video. But here we go. The 4 hoops are up. All the foundation tubes are in. The ground is level. And we're good to go. So what I've got to do now is across each of these hoops is a post. It's like a ridge post. It goes all the way across there. So I've got to put them on. I'm going to do that this morning. I've got my ladders out ready. All the posts are in now and the foundation plates are on. So these posts will move and square up once the ridge posts are on. And there's posts that go across here as well on each of the corners. And then that straightens up these posts and tightens everything together. And then in this corner here, there'll be another corner post. This corner here, there'll be another corner post. And this is the post that I've got to redo, because look at the post. It moves up and down. Can you see that? When I pull it, it's up and down. So I can't have that, because when it's in the wind, it's just going to blow about and it's just going to lift up and down. So I've got to dig it out, put the bolts on properly, and then fill it back again with soil. Now I had loads of trouble the other day trying to square it off, trying to get all the posts the same height, trying to get them in the right place. Got all the posts in and found I was 2 inches out on that post there, that post there, and this post here has been in and out of the ground about 8 times. It's finally done, finally square, finally in the right place, so that one can stay in. So what I ended up doing was, to any of you who are going to do this, ignore all the rules of doing your 3, 4, 5 or squaring off your corners. Forget all that. Get yourself 2 pieces of wood, one 10 foot, one 15 foot, and you'll be sorted. So what I did was, I've got these big long lengths of wood, which are just over 15 foot long, and I marked out 5 foot spaces with a marker pen. Just here, see, I've done that on each of the posts, and I know now that my spaces are, that one's 5 foot to that one, then that one to that one is 5 foot, then that one to that one is 5 foot. And what I did for the 10 foot one was I nailed myself 2 shorter pieces together like that into a 10 foot length, and I've used that to mark out the 10-foot spacing across the width of the tunnel. So that's solved an awful lot of faff, an awful lot of heartache and effort, and it meant I got the job done a lot quicker. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do the ridge posts across the top here, do the corner posts across the corners there, and put the crop bars on. And then if I can get that done today, tomorrow I can get the door and the door frame on, and then we're good to go for the plastic. So yeah, hopefully have it done by the end of the week. So that is the plan for today. So I'm just going to go and get all the bits and bobs. This is the wood for the door frames and the door. There's one at each end. And the problem that I've got here, as I showed you in a previous vlog, is this is the end where the door goes. And the door goes roughly about here. Now it has to open out 32 centimetres. So just get my tape measure. Right, say that's the edge of the tunnel. The door has to open out 32 inches. So if I pop that down there, you can see the issue I've got with the hill. There's not enough space, there's about a foot. So what I'm going to do is, there's the 32 inches, so it's going to open up that much. It's going uphill. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to do them 16 inches. "16 inches opens out nicely. I may have to even it out a little bit, but there's 16 inches, it'll open out straight, and I'll end up having 2 doors instead of 1. So that's my plan for that. So I've got to make them, but what's been suggested is you make 1 door and then you brace it in the middle and then you cut it down the middle, and that's the easiest way to build a door. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll end up having a double door. And then these are the poles for the corner posts. So I've got to put these on. So these are what I'm going to put on today. And then after that, I've got to dig a trench all the way around the whole thing, 12 inches deep, spade's width, 7 inches roughly wide. Put the plastic in, put the soil back in, and pull it as tight as possible. And that tensions the whole thing and keeps it wind tight. So this is another new addition that I've done. I've done one of my rose arches out of tree branches. I did that at the weekend, so I'm really pleased with that. It's a bit skew-whiffed, it's a bit sideways, but it's going to block the wind coming straight down that hill and add a bit of a windbreak. I've also put the hedge back there and along there. I'm watering them every night. I'm watering the leaves and I'm watering the roots, so hopefully they're going to come back. I've just noticed some new growth, so let's go and have a look. Put my mint at the top here so that can grow up tall here with the flowers on. Got a buddleia there. I've got one of those lantern flowers that I've got in the veg garden here. I put a daisy in. I've got a climbing rose, a red one here. So this is going to grow up the middle, and then it's going to grow across here and screen this off. Got another daisy. Got a buddleia, which unfortunately is wilted because we've got such strong sunlight, but again I'm watering, so hopefully it's going to come back. And then this is a box that I'm going to put at the end here as well and try and shape that. And I've got a bit of new growth, so it must be getting stuck in and feeling a bit happy. So it needs a good water, needs a good drink. I didn't get round to it yesterday, but yeah, so that's that. I've painted all the wall now. It's been painted in a nice, I'm not sure I like it, but it'll do for now. I'm going to put geraniums all along here and all along that side, because I've got a mountain of them up the top of the garden that I want to thin out. So they need a drink, and then they're going to be planted all the way down here, all the way along the edge of the wall, all along this side once I get all the nettles and the ferns and the thistles out. This fern can stay here. These are to go in. These were all rooted cuttings of the box that came off that big piece. Some of them are back in. These are also over, so I may put a few of them in as well. They've got no roots on, so I'm not sure. I am watering them just to keep them wet, keep them happy. And then as we go down here, this was a variegated privet. Hoping it's going to come back. It is being watered. It does have a good root on it. And that's been put back in there. A bit more box. And then if we go down here, this is going to be a new seating area. So I'm raising up the level with all the stone that I find. And then once it's all pretty much even to be able to sit on. So I have got a clematis to go there. I'm going to go along the fence here. I'm going to build this up with some tree branches and make it into a screened off area so we can sit, and when people walk past in the field we're not seen when we're sitting down. And this is going to be done into raised beds. There's the polytunnel, so that's a bit of a whistle stop tour for you. I'm very pleased with it so far, very pleased with the progress. You can see how big that box is now, so hopefully it'll be okay. The cows will prune it on one side and I'll prune it on the other. So yeah, that's it so far. So I'm going to get the roofing bars out and I'm going to do that, but I'll show you it when it's done in the next video. I might put a little bit of footage in for you of me putting it up, but I'll put all that in the next video for you because this has been quite long now with the escapade with the bees. So yeah, I think that's it. Right, okay, so I think that's it for today's video. Can't think of anything else to show you. There's not much going on in the veg garden because I've been working so hard on doing the polytunnel. Everything's busting out the greenhouse waiting to be planted, so I need to get a move on and get it done quick. And that's what I'm going to crack on with now. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, please do like and subscribe. Please do follow me on other social media as well. I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook. I'm posting quite regularly on Instagram now. I'm posting photographs of things that are coming into flower in the garden, and anything else I think might be of interest to you. So yeah, do pop along there and do see what I'm up to. I've also got a Pinterest account, but I don't post very regularly on there either. And it's all under Wildwood Cottage Diary. So if you're also interested in knitting, spinning, crochet, weaving, anything like that, I do have another channel, and it is in the link in the description bar below, called Faithful You Knitting Podcast. And I post all those sorts of shenanigans over there as well. So I'm a very busy lady. So I'm going to go now, I'm going to get on with my polytunnel, and I'll see you soon. So enjoy the rest of your week. And take care, and I'll see you soon. So bye for now. Bye bye.